Hey everyone, and welcome to my first Brawl hack tutorial video. In this video, I shall be reviewing Sora. 3 different Soras. Well, not really 3, but I shall be reviewing Sora by Sora over Pit by Chibikowskie, Sora over Marth by Micaiah, and Sora PSA by Eternal Yoshi. That's the beta. So without further ado, let us begin. I shall start with the 2 vertexes. This is the one over Pit by Chibikowskie. And as you can see, it's looking pretty good. It's a revamp of KAZECoyote's original one. And this is the one done from scratch by Micaiah over Marth. And it's also looking pretty good. Now, I'll start by reviewing the Sora one. I'll actually start with the cons. One thing that I found with this is that the texture isn't as good as the Marth's one. Like, it's not as detailed, and it's not as, the attention to detail is not as good, I don't think. It's a bit blurry, and it's not mapped as well as the Marth one. Like, it's not quite as clear, and it's not quite as sort of defined as the Marth one. But, you know, it's clear that it's Sora. If you look here, the texture, there's a lot more detail in it. Crotch shot! But, you know, there aren't any twitches in the texture. It all looks clean, clear, very nicely done. But here it's a bit less clear. You know, there's not as much detail. And you see those sort of like pouches on his legs are not quite as extruded as much. They're not as defined. Another glitch that actually I sort of just noticed is on his neck. It's a bit twitchy there. Like, it's not quite mapped properly, the vertexing, but you know, that's a bit of a nitpick. It's something that you won't really notice. But yeah, that's the main thing. Now onto the goods. I like the lower body of it, and I really like the hair. Like, Chibikowskie did an excellent job with the hair for Sora. I think it looks spot on. And also the Keyblade looks great, considering that he vertexed that from a Pit's sword, I believe. So yeah, great job there. Face is pretty good too. I also like the legs and the shoes. The shoes from KAZECoyote's, the shoes weren't that good, but here they've improved a lot because, well, Sora's shoes are huge, and he really nailed it here. So, great job there. However, also, I think it's slightly more let down by the upper body. The coat could be a little more defined. It could sort of stick out more. But, you know, for the most part, it's a nice vertex. Like, it doesn't really stand out as a coat. If you know what I mean. Like, Sora's coat is kind of small, but and his body's quite thin, but his body's quite bulky there. Now onto the Marth one. The bad stuff about the Marth one. He's a bit lanky. That's one of my main complaints, but you know, he's over Marth, so it's kind of expected. But the other main complaint that I had was with the arms. They look really skinny. I mean, Sora's limbs are pretty skinny, but like with Marth's broader shoulders, it looks kind of odd to me. I mean, I'm probably the only one that thinks this, but I knew there was something when I was looking at this that kind of irked me. Also, I prefer the hair of Chibikowskie's one. I think the hair generally looks nicer there. I mean, it's partially because of the fact that Micaiah was vertexing Marth's hair, whereas Chibikowskie was using Pits, and Pits is a bit easier to work with. But, onto the good stuff, and there is a lot of good stuff. As I was saying before, the texture is really detailed. The model, pretty much apart from the size, is very nicely done. Excellent overall definition. And I really like the Keyblade here as well. Both of them did a really good job on their Keyblades. And with this one, the coat is a lot more defined than with Chibikowskie's. like, you could tell more it's a coat. It seems more like a separate thing of its body. The hood is defined. Yeah, the texture's been mapped a lot better. And those are the main things, really. Oh yeah, and one other con about this. You probably wouldn't notice this at first, but it's a kind of a lazy vertex thing, but his face will always stay in this face. So when Marth would be talking, he will not change his face, so it looks a bit odd at times, but you know, that's something you don't really notice and it's not too much of a problem. Well, that's that, and both are pretty great, and thanks for watching that. Now we're on to the PSA by Eternal Yoshi. Now the first thing that you notice is that the waiting animation is a bit odd, how he sort of slides his feet forward and back. I think this could just be fixed by, instead of like during the main second transition, he just pulls the entire body back a bit so that his feet don't slide. For the most part, this is a pretty good PSA, especially because it's in its beta stages. There's a lot of things that could be improved, like a lot of odd animations, but he customly animated this himself. It's clear that he's put thought into it. This is the running animation, by the way. I'm not gonna lie, it makes him look like he's jumping about like a chicken. Now, one of the interesting things about Sora is that in Brawl, characters, when they roll forward, they turn around at the end, and when they roll back, they stay in the same position. But with Sora, if he rolls forward, he stays in the same direction, and if he rolls back, he turns around. This was because, I believe, in Kingdom Hearts 2 or something, he doesn't have a backwards roll. There's also a little glitch with the backwards roll where he'll turn around and then turn back around again, like, you can see it here, you see that? But I think that's quite easily fixable with the animation. Now onto his jumps. I like the animations, they look nice for the jumps. My only problem is the fact that his forward and back jumps share the same animation, but the forward one, I think it should be changed, because that looks definitely like a backwards jump. And it looks rather weird when you're moving forward and he's doing a backflip. Now onto the attacks. This is the AAA string. The final hit is really slow, but I downloaded this at the beta V1 stage, so I believe he's given it a little less lag now, so you can actually connect it. Like, literally, it's impossible. It's pretty much impossible to connect that last hit. You can disable the loop attack with a code, but I actually prefer to keep it. I think it works quite well. This is his forward tilt. It's called Blizzard, I believe, and it's based off of Pit's arrow. This is the other move that he tweaked in the next release, because if you see here, I'll be showing it in a bit, the hitbox is really small, like it went right over his head there. It's really hard to land. Now, in the V2 release, he didn't, it doesn't freeze the opponent. I have a feeling that move has potential, like, to be able to control it. Now, this move is the up tilt, called Thunder, I believe. Sort of medium start up. It has a lot of range, and I think it's an overall great move. Decent knockback, and it sends the foe straight up. It's useful for comboing, like, if you could try and land an aerial afterwards, it's quite useful in that sense. The down tilt is called Fire, I believe, and this is his best comboing tilt. It combos into quite a few of his moves, and I found it really, really useful when I was doing the playtesting. Now onto his smashes. This is his forward smash. It's really slow, but it has good range and good knockback, but the damage could be a bit better. And I mean, like, really slow. It's like Bowser forward smash slow. But I find myself using it quite a bit, actually, because it's just such a good killing move. Also, I think the animation for it could be improved a bit more for it. It seems a bit odd. This is up smash. I believe the animation is for his cure move in Kingdom Hearts. I don't really know too much about Kingdom Hearts myself, but it's one of his faster smashes, and it sends the foe straight up. Pretty good for comboing at low percentages. This smash, oh, I forgot what it's called, but it's interesting because it doesn't do that much knockback. It has a high knockback growth. It will kill on quite quite high percentages, definitely. But the interesting thing about it is that the hitbox lingers and it doesn't change. It has, I think it should have sort of set skip properties. Anyway, this is the neutral air. It's long lasting, but it knocks them too far away to be useful damaging wise. So I'd say kind of not use it, but avoid it comparative to other aerials. This move is his up tilt, up air. It's a bit of a tricky one because it has a bit too much end lag to combo into it properly. But it doesn't have, but it has not enough knockback to be a decent killing move at higher percentages. So this one seems a bit of a difficult one to do. I'd say either increase the knockback or decrease the end lag. Now we're on to his down air. This move, not gonna lie, even when it hits, it's not that useful because the end lag is just so ridiculously long that you can't get anything off after it. Your opponent would have got up before you would have recovered from the move. Now here are his forward and back airs. I left them till afterwards because they're interesting and unique. If you, they seem weak at first, but if you press A or like C stick, if the hitbox connects again, you can actually follow up with additional hits, as I'm showing really poorly here. There, you see? It does great damage, and if you can get your opponent in the right position, then you can deal some nice damage, and it's a great killing move. I think it's almost a bit too good. Maybe it just needs to be toned down a tiny bit, but the concept behind it is really cool, and I really like using these moves, the forward and back air. They're great fun if you can make them work. It doesn't really help that Wolf is a fast faller. Okay, this is his dash attack. I forgot to show it before. He lunges forward at high speeds. It's a pretty standard dash attack. Good combo. It's quite decent at comboing at low percentages. It comes out fast, and it's quite nice. This is a neutral B. Finishing leap, I believe it's called. Starts out slow, has good knockback, and okay reach. It's kind of situational, to be honest. But a nice thing you can do with it is cancel the second hit of the AA combo into this if you press B. So that works nicely. In the air, he does his magnet thing. I forget what it's called. This move is really good. Too good, in fact. It does great damage, great range. You can maneuver whilst in the air with it. It's just, I think it's a bit overpowered actually, but maybe it just needs to be toned down a bit more. Side B is his strike raid. It's his projectile. It's not actually a real projectile. Has great reach, decent damage, but its end lag is too much to combo after. Now, what I was trying to show there is that if you use it like falling off a ledge, he'll transition by accident into his side B in the air, which is this sort of dashing move. It's a bit like his dash attack, except in the air. It's quite useful, I found. Yeah. I think also with strike raid, it's a bit, you can't really follow up with it. I mean, it starts too slow for a projectile, and yeah. Now this is his up B flight. That was his up B flight, and it's really broken, I'm not gonna lie, because it doesn't send him helpless. Oh my god, I'm really behind. The move before was reflect, basically reflects projectiles, and has super armor at the beginning. And that move you saw there was the final smash, which was his light beam move. The one he uses to open keyholes. And it's an insta kill, and it's quite broken. Even though it doesn't do high damage, it's an insta kill. But yeah, those were his taunts right there. For the most part, it's a pretty good PSA. I mean, it's the beta stages, so it does definitely need work. The animations, a lot of them could be definitely smoother. You know, they lack oomph. he feels a bit clunky in places. Like, especially with the like the forward smash and the strike raids, they don't feel that natural to use. Despite the fact that I use them often. So now, we're duking it out. This stage, in case you guys want to know, is Mount Pyre by Lensho, one of my favourite stages. And model-wise, we have Kingdom Hearts Cloud by Beyond, the Zero, the Luch, or whatever his name is, the Marth version by Arfire, and Clavat, I believe, and I forget who he's by. I don't remember, but the links for all of them will be in the description. But overall, Sora is a pretty fun PSA to players. I mean, as I said, one of the things I appreciate about this one is that it's clear that Eternal Yoshi's been putting some thought into this moveset. I mean, the Sora moveset, the Sora, it's been a massive request for about a year. Like, this request has been up for longer than I've been Brawl hacking, just to put it into perspective for you. Like, this request was meant to be done ages ago, and it's only been done now, and I have to give Eternal Yoshi credit for that. So, nice work there, dudes. And I died, of course, because I suck. I'm playing with the classic controller now, since both my GameCube controllers are dead, and I'm not that good with the classic controller. But yeah, I can't wait to see how this sort of develops. It has a lot of potential if it's developed more to become a really great pit PSA, because there's no pit PSAs. Like, there's about 2, and there's none of actual like other characters, which is a shame because Pit is a fantastic character to PSA with. I won't go into the details, but you know, he's just good to work with in general. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say until the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoy. And the cam will still be on. So if I decide that I'm gonna pop out of nowhere and say something, yeah. Oh yeah, one thing that I will definitely say is, what do you guys want to see next after this? Because I've already had quite a few suggestions as to what they'd like to, from people as to what they'd like to see, but you know, we got to sort of pull this properly together. So here's what I was thinking. I can either review. One of the things that I wanted to do was Mass Attack Close Shadow, and explain sort of why I decided to do mine, and so I could review Mass Attack Close. Another thing that was suggested by Mario DK was his Super Mario Bros. Z moveset. I could also review vertexes from like some people. There's 3 in mind by a certain KCMM user that I want to do. I really like these 3 vertexes that I had in mind. He feels his stuff is underrated, and I feel that too. He probably knows who he is. Upon watching this video, to give you a clue, he likes Varty from Legend of Zelda. And yeah, that's the end of the match. But there's a few more things that I want to do. Again, I saw the suggestions in the previous video, and that's it. See you guys later.